welcome to your Daily Game Face. I'm Dr. Kim Lannon, and I'm here with...
Fixing your hair?
No, I was looking for my glasses.
Oh.
And they weren't on my head.
Well, you have the shot right there, so you don't have to physically check.
I know, right? Yeah. It's like there, whatever. I know, but I was trying to find them before the shot came on, and then I saw myself, and no, I wasn't fixing my hair, but now I am. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
And
Thank you for my Christmas gift.
You're very welcome for your Christmas gift. It was a nice surprise for you.
Yes.
So did I give John credit?
Yes, you gave John credit.
Okay, so
yes.
John, as I was driving out, said, "Make sure you tell Lou who picked that." I said, "I will."
You did it. You did it very emphatically.
I did. I made sure that
John,
I took zero credit other than I drove it here.
Well, that's enough.
I know, right? But exciting for you because I can't wait to have you taste it and then bring it back to me.
Yep.
So you'll have to text me when you get it. Good morning, Chris is joining us in the Christmas spirit. Did you like how I did that?
Yes, Chris in the Christmas spirit. Yeah,
that was came to me. I'm in a slap happy mood apparently. So good morning, and it's a week out. Can you believe it's a week out before Christmas? It is.
I can't wait.
I know that's not a good thing. Can't wait. That's not a good thing. So right off the top, I'm talking. Just let me get this out there because Chris is here, and he knows the pain that we're all overqualified to do this. And I say that because we raise money, we do all these things. Mm-hmm. So I'm running my 11th consecutive Boston Marathon. I've had the last time I talked about this 2 weeks ago, a whole bunch of people donated and I was like, yay. But I wanted to make sure that people know it's the giving season. It's giving season because it is the holidays and it's also tax deductible. And tax season is about to end for you for the year. So here's the time to make those donations.
Can't wait.
But I am doing two things this year for my Boston Marathon fundraisers. I'm doing Super Bowl squares, as I always do. They're $100 a piece. And you get entered and then there's payouts each quarter. And that has not been determined yet because I haven't determined that yet because I'm trying to make sure it doesn't come out of my pocket like it often does. Right. So, but they will be ample. So it raises $10,000 out of that. And also on save your dates because everyone and anyone is invited and to bring friends, loved ones, cats, dogs, whatever you want, as long as you pay the fee to get in. I'm doing a comedy / musical bingo. So I'm doing Dave Russo, who was on with us last week, and then musical bingo on February 2nd, which is a Sunday, the week before the Super Bowl, from 4 to 8-ish in Burlington, Mass at Jack's. And Tito's is sponsoring me. I'm very excited about it. And Jax is sponsoring the event as well. It's going to be fun. But the comedy show will start around 4:30-ish. Nice. And Dave will do his shtick, and he is funny as hell. He's been on national TV. He's won many competitions. He's probably one of the best comics around. And then we'll have musical bingo. But
he's funny as hell here.
He is funny as hell here, and he doesn't even do a shtick. That's just him. And so if you would like to donate to my page, Lou will certainly put it up. If you want a Super Bowl square, you can certainly put that up on when you donate. You can go in, you can pay the fees if you want to. You do not have to when it comes up and says you have a $20 fee to pay. You don't have to do that. It just covers all the costs of the charity. If not, that's fine. But if you do $100, that will go towards a Super Bowl square. And if you would like to be on the invite list and would like to come to my fun night of comedy, musical bingo, drinks, and food on February 2nd. I keep wanting to say September 2nd. On February 2nd, please let me know. And the entry fee to the door right now is $60 per person, and that all goes to charity. So 2 events in the next month, essentially, to get me to my goal and help me because, as Chris knows, and I just posted up on one of his posts today, is we are overqualified, and that's what we consider ourselves in charity team because we don't just run to run, even though people diss on us because, oh, you're just a charity runner, which always kills me because now that I've got Chris here, I wish I was having him online right now, but Chris and I have had this. I always support him online because people always look at him or me sometimes like, you run, you just because you don't qualify, so to speak, which means that you run like a 2-hour marathon and you're 70 years old or whatever it is, people look at you like, oh, there are charity runners in most marathons are the bread and butter and the reason why people come out to see marathons. They don't come out to see the elite runners because they come in, they're done, and it's over. People come to see the mass exodus of people coming out of Hopkinton or whatever marathon you're going to. They come to see the thousands of runners who have come out and raised millions of dollars. I believe that last year, my charity alone raised like $2.5 million that went to the 26 charities that we gave throughout New England in our event at the end of the spring. So that's just our charity alone. And I think there's 45-ish charities that run for the Boston Marathon. And we raised, I think it's $450 million in the past X amount of time. So, and Lou is just kind enough to put up on my links all of my charity pages. Again, if you want to go there, you can donate anything you want, but if you want a square or you want an entry to the party, make sure you say that in the memo, or at least get to me on the backside to say, here's what I want. If it's $100, I'll know it's a square. If it's $60, I'll know you're coming to the party or you're just making a donation. But please specify. And remember, it's tax deductible. And if you need the 501c3 number, it is on the Give and Gain site. If you need it from me personally, I certainly can give it to you. But I'm excited about it. And it's going to be a great year. Number 11. And the overqualified part is I'm running training and also raising money and working and doing all my life. And that's what, about 10,000 runners in the Boston Marathon do. There's around, I don't know, probably 4 to 6, I guess, but usually up to around 10,000 charity runners. And they're all doing that. They're all running, raising money, and doing all these events.
So you pretty much got your goal before you ran. Well,
last year. Well, so I always
get it out of the way so you can train.
I always get it out of the way, knock on wood, so that I can train because it makes it easier, which is why my goal is always to have it finished by January 1st. Well, I have $9,000 to go, so I'm a little off. So I'm trying, and I haven't really had a chance because I've been a little busy to get it going. But last year I did have it done on February 1st, which was great and very helpful. And then we know what happened last year with my gallbladder. So that was all a lovely little event. But my goal is, and I always try to help my teammates out by saying, go out and get all of your fundraising done and use Christmas time, even though it's a hard time for people because they're buying gifts and everything. This is a great gift because you're giving to charity. So if you don't have a charity that's your favorite, pick mine or pick Chris's. Chris has a great charity too. So Chris is online too, and I'll promote Chris as well.
Trying to see if I had Chris's address to
email
him a link, but I don't have it.
But you can put Chris's. Chris should be on Give and Gain too. Chris, if you're still online, post up because Lou will post up yours as well. Because I'm all about sharing and caring. So if you want to donate to me, great. If you want to donate
give
to
him
Chris,
a link so he could join, but I don't have his email address.
Oh, Chris, give Lou your email. So we can join you in if you want to. And Chris is like, oh, probably don't want to do that.
No, he doesn't want to do that.
Probably not. But anyway, so thank you very much for that little spiel, letting me, I'm going to be talking about that because I'm certainly getting, that done, and it helps me with stress. And then, so here's the holidays. And of course we've had some off time this year because we had 7 shows in a row that were a little, had some issues. So I didn't get to do all of my talk about Thanksgiving and holidays and all this. And people, of course, are stressed about the holidays because now we're back in it and we're short this year. I came in this morning into the studio and everyone downstairs is kind of like bah humbuggy. And I was like, so I come in being me loud and I'm like, where are all the Christmas decorations in this place? And Kevin's like, exactly. I don't know. Where are they? So last year it was like, remember, it was like full, like blinking lights everywhere. There was stuff everywhere. There's not one decoration up this year. What's going on?
I don't know.
Okay. So I'm chalking it up to, here's what I've been seeing in the past 2 weeks.
I have decorations. I did nothing for them.
I'm sure you didn't. So,
but I have great decorations.
But here's the thing. Yeah. So Hanukkah's falling on Christmas Day, start of Hanukkah, right? So it's a crunch time for people in celebrating Hanukkah. Kwanzaa's around the same time. I know, right? And we have Christmas, but we're like a week behind because Thanksgiving was late. So I think it caught people off guard. So people are scrambling. And So on top of the normal stress, there seems to be this other stress, which goes, I always say Thanksgiving to New Year's is a really hard time for people for 900 different reasons. But now I'm seeing it as stress. And I will just relate personally that in my own house, and I'm sure John is listening, and if he's not, oh well. But so I had to take a quick trip to Florida this weekend, and it was lovely, by the way.
Quick trip to Florida?
Yes,
nice.
It was so nice. The weather was perfect. I shelled. I had mental health days.
Yep.
It was fabulous. I went to a beautiful Christmas party.
You saw a blue sky, I imagine?
I saw lots of blue sky. Yeah. I have great pictures. I got a little bit of a tan going on. It was lovely. I was in the water. It was spectacular.
Whereabouts, by the way? I mean, not specifically.
I was going to say
West Coast.
I was in the Tampa region.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I was in the Tampa region, and it was lovely. But they were actually very Christmassy, somewhat down there, which is so weird. You drive along. I saw a golf cart parade of Christmas carts with lights all over them, which was fascinating. There were probably about 50 of them, and my favorite one, and I will show you a picture of this later. It was the lamp leg from Christmas Story with the whole theme on it. It was so cute. I was like, this is the best one. Nice. So I kept taking pictures of it. But anyway, I went to a lovely Christmas party with a fabulous group of people. Some people that I used to work with at Big Cat Rescue. And I got to catch up with some old friends and made some new friends, and then also got to spend time with besties, and it was really good and had a great time. So it was.
By the way, your card was beautiful.
Oh,
with all the big cats.
Thank you. So
but we're upset that we didn't get to see your cats.
Oh, everyone keeps telling me that. Yeah. So my Christmas card that went out to everyone officially this year was, I'm glad you got that, by the way, because I kept going 11/21, 11/21. But anyway, those are cats from Wildcat Sanctuary. That's where I am now. Right. But everyone that is gotten it, not everyone, but most people are like, where are your cats? I mean, I love the big cats, but where are your cats? I'm like, oh, I can't win. Like next year. Yep. So but I'll send out another card mid-year, like a June card, and say, Happy June. And
July 4th. Happy July 4th.
Happy July 4th. But my signature drink from Tito's is one of them is going to be named after my soul baby, Kalila, who passed.
Oh, nice.
I know. It's going to be
a tribute drink. I like
a tribute drink made out of vodka. There we go.
I can't think of a better tribute.
I know. Yeah. To my cat. But thank you for the compliment on my Christmas cards. Yeah. If you didn't get my Christmas card, I'm going to just post it as a screenshot on my site for everybody that didn't get it, because I only got so many.
Well, there you go. Post your cats. Do a post, a Christmas post.
I could do a Christmas post of all of them, from our house to yours.
Yep.
I had their names on it.
Oh, no, you do. Yeah.
So those cats are from Wildcat, and the top one is Prada, the lioness that came from Ukraine that was saved from the war. There were 4 that came from the Ukraine and saved, and I just happened to catch that beautiful picture
in that tiny crate.
She was not in that tiny crate. That's not the one.
Oh, that's not the one? Okay.
Well, okay, so tiny crates are only things that they get shipped over in, but that was not. She was a kit. She was a cub when she came. So now she's confused. Right. That's a different tiger. That you saw a lion. This is a tiger. So Prada is a lion, but she came as a baby. Now she's a big girl, and so she was my top picture. And then that sunset that I took that picture was Aruba, and then the bottom one was of the beautiful tiger. Dash. Mm-hmm. I'm only saying that hesitantly because when I looked at the picture from the side, I'm like, I can't tell if that's Dash or not. I can usually tell front face, and I'm like, oh God, because they don't all look alike. Because did you know every single tiger has a different marking? And
I would imagine,
and the familial lineage, you can tell tiger to tiger for family lineage.
Oh, it kind of carries along. They resemble their
lineage. You can tell like that's one of the ways that they were tracking when we were doing trying to figure out. Such a tangent. We were trying to figure out like whose tigers were whose and where Joe Exotic was putting them and who belonged to who and what family, like, daughters and sons of whatever, because they have specific markings. Not that they have like they're not identical, but you could tell from baby pictures like where they are, and they're never
have like sibling resemblance.
Right. And they don't have, they're like snowflakes. They're all unique, but that's how we track to figure out who's who, like when they get trafficked. Nice, huh?
Yep.
I'm just a plethora of information this morning.
Leanne wants to know. She's
hi,
mentioning
Leanne.
the 11 new cuties. You get 11 new.
So Tammy was very cute. So from Wildcat Sanctuary. Okay, we'll go back to Christmas in a second and the holidays. But so 11 new babies came in over the weekend. Tammy and the crew came up to Pennsylvania, and she was funny. She called. She's like, I'm up in your neck of woods. I'm like, well, like 10 hours away, but she's in Pennsylvania. But she came up and got 11 new babies. And the best thing, first of all, they're adorable. So someone died. This is what happens, the breeders die.
Yeah.
Then these cats which by the way, 11 of these cats. Now these are not big cats. These are the hybrids, which are smaller. They were being kept in these very small, small, like the size of this room, my studio, together.
No. 11?
I think there were 2 sets, so
God.
5 and 6 or whatever it was. I think there were 2 sets of the rooms, but in the basement of this man's house. Anyway, so they've been rescued and they have now all the space in the world. But here's the best part: their names. You ready, Leanne? Ready? It's hi, Cassie. Cassie's here, from Florida, and their names are Cornelius. And I start with Cornelius first because. Where was Cornelius from at Christmas time?
No idea.
What show?
Oh, the Rudolph?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Yukon Cornelius, right?
Yeah.
So one's Cornelius, and then the rest of them are all the reindeer. Prancer, Dancer, Donner, Vixen, Comet, Cupid.
That's funny.
And they're so cute. Yeah. So I
Who got Rudolph?
They did not name one Rudolph.
Yeah.
But they got all the rest. Oh, they are so cute. So that's another one. If you want to give to a different charity, you can go to wildcatsanctuary.org and make a donation there. I'm pushing for everybody today. Yay, giving spirit. Happy holidays. But we did get the 11 cuties and they are so cute. That's funny. Cassie's like, I'd rather talk cats than Christmas any day. So Cassie just recently moved to Florida. So she's getting all the weather that I just left. She gets to,
nice.
She left from Connecticut and went to Florida, and now she gets she gets hurricanes, but she gets the Florida weather.
Sun's up for about 10 hours a day, and it's all gray. And
yes. Good. So Cassie, if you haven't gotten a chance to go to Wildcat Sanctuary and look at the 11 new littles, you're gonna fall in love. They're so cute.
Yeah, it says there's a Rudy.
There's a Rudy. I missed that.
Yep.
I was too caught up with Cornelius and I can't help it. Anyway. But thank God for Catio Town, because we now have these big spaces and all this extra room for all these cats that need homes that are sanctuary for life, which is wonderful. Anyway, I'm sorry, Cassie, I do have to go back to the holidays. But as an aside around animals around the holidays, this is the other thing. I'm always not a big fan of people getting puppies and kittens for people at the holidays. This is not a good time. And all my friends out there that are online right now with me can chime in about this. It's like Halloween. No black cats during Halloween because, okay, Christmas is great. You want a puppy, you want a kitten. Okay, don't do that during the holidays, because what happens is in the next month, it's like the New Year's resolution. In a month, we don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
And this is what happens. And it's one of the biggest turnaround times or abandonment times. So please don't.
No.
Please get a stuffed animal, give your kids something else. Like, don't use it as a companion. I understand, which gets into the whole holiday, is like people looking for a companion, something like, and little kids say, I want a puppy. Yeah. They're not going to take care of it. And people go out and get a dog that's bigger than they can take care of, or they get a cat that's totally not for their family, not realizing, or they shop for one instead of go get one from the rescue and end up with something way bigger than they can handle. And this, just stick to Amazon and the mall.
Buy a stuffed animal.
Oh my God. Right. So, okay. I can't see. So I have
Cassie's right. No bunnies either.
Yes.
Bunnies are popular.
Very popular.
She doesn't love rabbits, but a month later.
Well, and that's the thing. Cassie, I'll be there again soon to do a long run for my marathon training. So I will absolutely let you know. It was a really quick turnaround. So I did think of it, but it was a quick turnaround. But I would love to see you. So next time I'm there in the next month or two, I will let you know. So this is just not a good time for that. And it's also, here's the thing, people look to give, especially to people during the holidays, because it fills that loneliness pattern, especially in elderly people. And it kind of loops back around. There's a reason this man dies and now there's 11 cats. It's just a loop, right? And not to say that a person who is elderly shouldn't have a pet, just don't do it at Christmas, because the turnaround time is just fast. It's within a month. I think it's 6 weeks on the outset at the max, and then within 3 to 5, because with puppies, it's hard. If like they're a big dog, they're going to be big. They're hard to train. If they're little, it's a lot for people. So anyway, going back to the fact that the stressful time, and it's a very stressful time. And I was watching a show today. I was like, God, I do like the same exact kind of shows that I see on TV, right? Talking about just the stressful time of people not wanting to let anyone down, be disappointed, expectations, all that stuff. And I'm having to take a big swallow pill right now on this, because my house, which I said, oh, John, you should be listening. You guys will all be entertained by this that know John. So we were having a project done in the house. It was supposed to be done weeks ago. You know how that goes, right?
Beaver Dam?
What?
Beaver Dam?
Nope, not the Beaver Dam. That's a whole different project. But we're having a kitchen project done, let's just say.
Oh, boy.
Right? And it was...
always fun.
Yeah, and so 90% of it was all set. So when I took out of here for Florida, beautiful, right? And I have to throw John under the bus a little bit, because it's entertaining. So so he had our amazing, lovely plumber, who was just calling me, as a matter of fact.
Okay. That's never good.
He had our plumber who set up the sink. We had a new countertop and sink put in, right, undermount. And he had to come back for a couple of things. And so John decided to do some surprises for me. Surprise, he did. Well, he was replacing a drain in the upstairs guest bathroom. And now my beautiful kitchen that had a beautiful white ceiling is no longer beautiful white ceiling. And it's a week before Christmas. So this happened on Monday.
Yeah.
And so he had spent the entire day yesterday bleach. And when I say the entire ceiling, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
The entire ceiling. I'm like, what did you do? Like, let it run for 7 hours? I mean, but anyway, so my ceiling is a disaster. So therefore the kitchen's still apart, which means that the dining room is filled with all the stuff out of the kitchen, which means everything. So, Merry Christmas.
Okay.
And so,
take his intent into
account. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Well, I know you had great intent.
Things happen, especially in home improvement.
Especially when the plumber said, don't pull the drain.
Well, okay.
Just saying. Yeah. So anyway, first world problems, but still adversities. And I'm just like, what?
Cassie chipping in. Surprise.
Yeah, Cassie, it was a surprise when I sent the plumber a video yesterday morning of the ceiling, and he immediately called me. He goes, oh my God, what happened?
So let me tell you this.
I was like, oh my God.
No guy likes doing this stuff. So his intent was excellent. He's trying to help you out. He was trying to surprise you. Yeah.
Well, like Cassie said, surprise.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I liken it to the fact that I've had to eat this a little bit, because I was obviously upset. And I'm like, it's not doing me any good.
Yeah.
Even though it's still sitting in my head, it's like, it's not doing me any good, and I'm going to have to work around it. And it puts me behind in it just, and it's like, whatever, at the end of the day, Christmas is over next week, and whatever. It doesn't matter that the tree only has lights on it. It doesn't matter there's no tree skirt. It doesn't matter that everything's all over the dining room. It doesn't matter.
It's going to be a great story a couple of years from now.
I know it's a great story now, because literally we could be having Chinese food on the floor. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't
Sounds
care.
like fun, actually.
Yeah, and then I don't have to cook.
Sounds like my idea of a good time.
Right. Oh, this is the other thing because there's bleach. He's bleaching the ceiling, so he's spray. Okay,
Ooh,
this is John.
Yeah.
No safety goggles. His clothes, brand new countertops, right? Quartz countertops.
Yep.
There's bleach everywhere. Right. I have hanging, and oh my God, there. Let's just say there's a lot of bleach going on in my house.
Well,
and now I have a cat that has a snuffleupagus going because she's, and I'm like, do not let her downstairs.
I have a scarily similar story.
Oh God. And I'm like, he's like, it says on YouTube. And I'm like, oh God, YouTube. I'm like, that better dry out before we roll that paint over that ceiling. Oh my God.
Oh, that's the biggest fight me and Janet are going to have.
Rolling the paint?
No, because she's always, there's something wrong with the car. She goes, here's a YouTube video.
Oh.
You go out and do it. And then talk to me about YouTube videos.
Oh, YouTube videos are very helpful.
Of course they are.
And it's actually working. It's
if you have the tools and you have access.
Well, here's the thing: when you have an entire ceiling that's like 16 by 20, that looks like I was laughing with my friend Kathy, who's in Florida, because she got hit with Milton and Helene, right?
Yep.
And I've seen it because I was with her this weekend, and it's like, it's not huge. It's, it's doable. They're going to come in and fix it. It's like, there's this, it's like a stain, right?
Yep.
It looks like my house was underwater in Helene in my kitchen. That's mine. So when I sent her the video, she was like, oh.
Again, he took initiative to do something nice for you.
I'm just saying it's a lesson in adversity of me having to suck it up, Sally, and let it go. Because
that's good. Because in the big scheme,
Well, my big question was, is the ceiling going to fall in? Because
is it that bad?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
This is not like a light stain.
All right.
He has had to spray it with bleach twice, and we've got at least probably another day or two of spraying bleach.
Oh, God, yeah.
To get it. And I'm like, I can't even look up when I go in the kitchen. I'm like, keep your head down, keep your head down, keep your head down. And it was dripping to the floor. I mean, I'm just saying. Yep. I came down Tuesday morning. Was it yesterday morning? Because I've only been home since Monday night. I came down, and there was bleach and brown water crap that was just dripping onto the floor and the new countertops that are white, by the way.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my God. So
yeah, but what are they? What are they made of?
Quartz.
Oh, then you'll be fine. It's not going to stain the countertop.
No, but it's just annoying.
Yeah.
And I don't want the cats licking the bleach.
Good point.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Although I'd consider, no, I wouldn't.
All the cat people just heard you say that. Cassie and Leanne go right after him. So anyway,
it's all sarcasm.
Yeah, no, it's not. Not with you. Not with cats. You're mean.
I have 2 cats in the house. I take care of them.
No, you.
And they love me.
No, they don't.
They do.
They don't.
Trust me.
Nope. They do not like you. And I'm sending that mojo out there. Like, I hope that they give you a bite today. Anyway, so the adversity. So people, I have to practice what I preach. And I had a really hard time with that yesterday going, sitting. I had a couple of people talking about things, and it gave me some perspective on my ceiling issue, because people were talking about real things. And I'm sitting there going, my ceiling's about to cave in.
Well, that's not just a good Christmas exercise. That's a day-to-day exercise.
Right. But it seems to be that these things come up in more fervor around the holidays, even though they're always around, right?
The stakes are higher.
Right.
Yeah.
But the stakes, are they really higher? And that was my thing, is they're really not higher, because in the words of my father, which always pissed my mother off, and probably still does to this day, is he'll say, it's just another day.
Yeah.
But for my mother, or for lots of people, the holiday is this event, and it has to be dun, 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 dun. And I've already put it in my head that the likelihood of me getting it to be an event this year, right out the window.
But those are the people who make it difficult. If you let them. People put so much emphasis on Christmas.
Well, it would make, so I, if my mother's listening, sorry, this is one of those stories that I probably should wait till you're dead, but I'm going to tell it anyway. She got. It's
going to be a trilogy. It's not going to be a book.
I don't know. It's going to be a trilogy. Yeah. And this isn't even a bad story, but it's kind of funny but she'll be mortified that I'm telling it. She cannot, for the life of her, not have gifts wrapped, before we actually start opening them up. Like she goes right to the last. She'll stay up all night because she'll stay up all night wrapping gifts because she couldn't do it 2 weeks ago. She couldn't do it 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And she makes her own bows, which of course for the longest time I would do as well. By the way, it takes a long time for this little project, which adds, wrapping is like quick, but then when you have to put a bow on every stupid package that matches, it has sparkly, right? Because it's an event. She would spend her entire evening into probably 3 and 4 in the morning wrapping gifts because she was behind, cooking, wrapping gifts, and whatever, only for us to wake up at 6:37 to just open them all up. So it would always make me cringe because she'd be like, "Don't ruin the bow."
I know.
Don't ruin the bow. And we'd have to cut them in a certain place because she was going to reuse them the next year.
But that never happened, right?
Well, sometimes because by the time they would come back down from the attic or the garage or wherever they would come from, they would be squished and she'd have to refluff them. And then she'd be like, forget it. And she'd toss it. And then she'd start over.
That's what I'm thinking. You make these bows and then the child comes down and just rips it off.
Right. Well, no, there's no. Well, in my household, I wasn't allowed to rip. I had to cut.
Oh, see, yeah.
I had to cut specifically so they could be retied together in the back of the package for the next year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm going to hell. She's going to be like pissed that I told the story. But anyway, but these are the things that people.
There's a group of people who are into Christmas to that extent, and it makes it difficult for the rest of us.
Well, I was into it like that for the longest time because that's how I was trained. And over the years, I realized this is insanity. And so I'm feeling a little pressure this year, though, because that week I missed because Thanksgiving was so late. I was a little behind. So I'm feeling, I'm usually wrapped and everything. I'm not wrapped. So, but it's again, ridiculous problems. And this is what I've been telling people when they're like, I don't have this and I don't have, I'm like, really? It really?
Yeah.
And then I just want to say, want to see my ceiling? You think you got problems? Want to see my ceiling? Okay. So, we were talking about cardiovascular issues around the holidays and people's stress level going on their heart and just their functional systems. One, because of the stress, but also the amount of food intake that's going on and people doing that. But I have found, and I don't know why, but this year, and I'd have to really think about it, this year I have found that people, at least in my practice, because I have about 300 clients a month, are really following the lead of not doing the whole food gorging and the gluttony thing, and because of not needing to. A couple people have likened it to the fact that we've had beautiful weather. It was 65 degrees yesterday here, 80 degrees last week. People are out and about still. People aren't hunkered down and just eating, because it's 3:00 and it's dark and thinking it's midnight. But I'm not seeing it as much as I have in the past. And people are reporting like not feeling that they're doing that or gaining weight or feeling that pressure on their chest and body.
Yeah, good.
Which is great because I'm just seeing a trend, at least in my practice, anecdotally. I don't know if that's going to translate out to other places, but I'm definitely seeing that that's much more of a thing. The other thing I noticed, because I happen to go to the mall and I hate the mall, and I went to the mall last night and it will be the last time I go to the mall for a long time. And I was with John. We were very surprised. Hardly any decorations up. The Santa Claus was there. Hardly any decorations.
Really?
Hardly any people. No Christmas music being piped in, and stores were closing early.
Really?
Yes, and we were like, "What is going on?" Yeah, even the restaurants. 9:00 was coming. I mean, it was 8. It was 8. Stores were closing all over the mall. There was hardly anybody there. It was bizarre. Very bizarre. And then when I walked out, I said, I will not be coming back to this mall for at least another year. And I can't be happier. I'm just, so then we went and found a restaurant that was open. And we talked about the fact that it's just everybody's online. Everybody's doing everything on, he says ghost town. It was a ghost town. It was bizarre. So I don't know what's going on other than probably people are ordering online.
Yeah, and everyone talks about Black Friday and things like that. It's like, who does that? You got to be out of your mind to do that.
People do.
But people enjoy it. Some people enjoy it.
But here, so I was away. Now, here's the thing, because I know it's stressful. These are all the stressors of, people go, I got to get there. I know that people went to Target at 3:00 in the morning to get that stupid Taylor Swift thing. There was a she released the book with the album thing, right? So there were millions of people at Target to buy that, right? So I know that was a thing. But other than that, the whole Black Friday and the whole weekend, I was coming back from being away. And I stopped off at a outlet mall, like the Tanger outlets. There was like no one there on Sunday. I was in and out of there like with no issue, and the amazing deals. And I was like, "Where's everybody?" So people are ordering online. I think
so too.
And I think that speaks to the stress level as well. It takes stress down. Your packages show up and you just do. I have a hard time with some like clothes and stuff like that. I can't like do that. I have to see them and touch them, because sometimes when you order from Amazon or Temu or Temu, which I've never ordered from, but I've ordered from Shein, they're kind of cheap.
Yeah.
And when I see them sometimes I'm like, oh, that's flammable. That might go up in flames if you stand next to a fire source or a gas station. You might burst into flames. So John is saying hi to Leanne. And and what did Cassie say?
Malls used to be a holiday hub.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they are not, at least up here, they're not. I don't know, Cassie, if they are down there, but and I think also I think malls are stressful for people, and I think that it's because of the pandemic and because people have gotten so disconnected from that. People don't feel the need to have to go out and do that, so it's not like the thing where everyone will go out and they'd have dinner and then they'd go shopping. I don't find that's what's going on. I could not believe.
Plus, you can shop better online. I mean, you'd go to one store and say, maybe I can get this cheaper somewhere else. And then you get to drive around and go through that whole thing again. But you do it online.
Right. Well, it was interesting because one of the stores I went into last night, they didn't have a size that I wanted. So the girl was like, and I ended up finding the size, but she's like, oh, I can just call another store and we can have it shipped to you. Why am I even, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's so much easier, but I still had to see it to feel it. I'm a feeler.
That's fine.
I have to feel clothes. Anything else, like whatever. It's one of those things. But anyway, so the stresses. So what do you think the top stress is for the holiday season that is December through, or this time with the 3 holidays I mentioned and New Year's?
Easy. Finances.
Yep.
Yeah.
Money.
Yep.
Money. Meet people overextending. Big important thing
Love
today.
equals money.
Love equals money. And here's my psychological tip for you today. The feds are lowering the interest rates probably in the next day. And it came out this morning, which means that if you have high interest or higher interest credit cards, pay them now and stop charging on them for the next 3 weeks, because you should pay them down now instead of charging more on them, because you're going to, or at least charge now and then pay quickly, because the rate's dropping.
Raise? Oh, they're dropping.
They're dropping.
Yeah.
No, the drop, and then of course, as I'm coming in, I'm like looking, what is it dropping? And it's actually significant. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be good. So, if you've got any of those loans out there, any kind of things that you've taken out to extend yourself for the Christmas holiday to buy the extra things that no one's going to ever remember getting, pay that down quickly, because you're about to get a drop in your loan rates and your credit card rates if you have high interest yielding credit cards. Because that psychologically helps people, because going into the new year, I always say Thanksgiving to New Year's is so depressing for a lot of people, right? But then, it lifts a little bit, but the January, February time, people then struggle.
Yeah, that's
because now it's the catch up time. And then on top of it, we haven't talked about the New Year's resolution thing that I'm always against, right? Their goal setting is like, goal set now. Don't wait till the first of the year. Yeah. Like, do it today. I was in the shower this morning thinking about, like, make sure you're on top of things today. Don't wait till the first. Don't set this date way out in the future, right? Because it doesn't happen. And what you're doing is you're falsely misleading yourself into this abyss of, I'm going to do it. And that's the thing I used to say about my friend Bill, any day that ends in Y, right? It's because it never happens, or it largely doesn't happen. It's not that it never, but people will start, and then it gets too overwhelming because they bite off way more than they can chew. And so if you say, let's take an example, it's like calories. You rack up a $10,000 Christmas charge bill, right? Yeah. And you haven't paid it off, and and then you get to January, February, March, you're looking at paying if you're in an interest card, right, you're looking at paying double that if you don't pay it off right away, or you don't pay it off within a few months.
Yep.
So by the time, if you're taking that out and you pay over 5 years and you're accumulating, your $10,000 bill goes up to $50,000.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that, but I think they do. But I think it's just more of an ethereal thing. And I love that Leanne gives to charity for Christmas. And that's why I started the show today with like charity stuff, because it is meaningful for people and it helps people out. And it's great. I mean, I know if you have little kids, it's a little different, but the whole gifts. I mean, I'm always love a gift, but I'd rather do the charity thing. The other thing I'm big on is, in my practice, telling people limit gifts to experiences, especially with kids. Kids don't remember that you gave them the Nintendo. They have it, or they have a Switch, or they got the sweatshirt or whatever. Kids remember trips, experiences, car rides, like do something experiential, and it will be either cheaper or the same amount of money, and you'll have a memory that will last. Kids and people, they don't remember, for the most part, they don't remember that sweatshirt or that pair of pants. I have someone in my life that when I'm wearing a certain pair of pants from like 3 years ago, she'll be like, "Oh, I gave you that for Christmas 3 years ago." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I don't remember that. I'm like, "Okay, sure you did."
Yep.
I'd rather, do a weekend away, or, go, plan a Disney trip for you. Like, do something that is going to cost you the same amount of money. So you might as well do it.
Yep.
Or if you have older kids or adults, plan a trip to London or France, or do something fun. Go to the beach, go to the Caribbean. Aruba or Grand Cayman or Cozumel or something like that. But I think that people feel compelled to have to give a lot. And I think, going back to what you said, is gifts equal love. And
for many people.
And it's and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, is, if you give 5 gifts to one person, then you have to give 5 to the other, then the other. It's like, no, you don't. But if you're in that comparative family of like, well, you gave 5 to that. Yeah, but those 5 were $50 and that one is it's, and then you're in the comparative game. So it's a lot. It's stressful for people.
A lot. Yeah.
It's all a lot. And it's like, why do you need to do that? So I love the whole like Yankee swap idea, put a cap limit on things. Unfortunately,
no Yankee swaps.
Huh?
No Yankee swaps. Everyone's at each other's throats.
Okay. Do Secret Santa, not Yankee. Secret Santa.
Yeah.
Right. Do Secret Santa. So, but people don't
with a limit.
Right, with a limit. But people don't like to do that. Some people do, but they still, I get people in my life that'll be like, well, we could do that, but I'm still going to do all these other things. Yeah. And you're like, oh, forget it then, because then you feel like compelled that you have to do.
It's complex though, because a lot of people ask me what I want and I say nothing, because I think I'm kind of giving a gift there, in that, don't stress about me. I'm okay. There's nothing I need.
Right.
But some people get stressed at that.
Well, well, people ask me the same thing, like, what do you want? And I have to, and I'll usually say, and it takes me forever. And then I don't really need anything specific. Yeah. So then I find things for them to, so I told them this year what I wanted. And I think I asked for one thing. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on.
Any histamine?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I asked for one thing because they all pushed me on it. And I'm guaranteeing, because I can tell what they've been talking about, none of them got it for me. And I keep saying the same thing. I just sit in front of them going, did you get me that? Did you get me that? Because that's all I wanted. And they're like, you're going to like what I got you. I'm like, oh, they didn't get me. Why do you ask me if you don't get me what I wanted? Yeah. But I always say the same thing. It's like, I don't really know. I always just say, I don't really know. Because I don't really, because if I want something, I buy it. And that's kind of who I am, right? So, and I don't really, but I like getting the gifts, and I'd probably be hurt feelings if like someone didn't say, here's a little trinket kind of thing. But I really don't have
I'm a little weird because I'm not object oriented. I'm not thing oriented all that much.
Right.
Which that's not a brag or anything. It's just the way I am.
Well, I like my experiences, which is part of the gift that I asked for this year was something related to an experience. I'm like, just get me a gift certificate to this experience that I'm doing. And I'm thinking that no one did that. I'm thinking I know a couple of things I'm getting from people, and I'm like, that's not what I asked for, but that's okay because I'll still be appreciative. I'm having an experience in the winter, and I asked for something for that, and I think everyone's bypassing what I asked for. So,
well,
and then I get into then don't ask me. I'd rather just be a surprise then. Don't ask me, because then whatever. Kate has joined.
Yes.
Kate's in school. Kate,
congratulations. Acceptance, yeah.
Yes, Kate got into 15 colleges, universities. Kate was on the trifecta of how many, I say trifecta tongue in cheek, because she literally was on how many schools could she get into? Catherine had more schools than I've ever seen in my life except her, and she just kept applying. It was like she was racking up the points. So she had lots to pick from. So she finally, I say begrudgingly, she finally made a decision after many go-arounds and some heated discussions with me. Didn't we, Kate? So she finally she picked Roger Williams.
Yep.
She's going in for journalism and poli-sci. And she's got some really good stuff coming that I won't talk about on the air because it's her own personal business, but it's very exciting and super cool that's coming along with her first year there. And so I'm very happy. And she committed to it, then she uncommitted to it, and now she's recommitted to it. And so now we're really committed to it. So she's going to Roger Williams, and I'm very excited for her because she'll love it, and it's a great school. And her brother committed to Merrimack, and he's going into pre-med and nursing. You saw that?
Great school, yep.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of them, and they're the last. Oh, she said thank you. Oh, thank you. They are the twins have finally flown the coop. So come next fall, they will be flying the coop off to college, and they are the last of that group.
This is a semi.
I have one more in my chute, so to speak.
One more?
I have one more in my chute, but he's not ready for 2 more years to go. And I'm not sure. I think he's doing vocational. So
this is a semi-related story. One of my partners on Sirius had a PhD in poli-sci.
Yeah.
Which that he was doing the show and doing baseball, which is kind of interesting anyway. Greatest guy in the world. Love him to death. Great friend. And he ended up, what he ended up doing for a living? Coaching women's bowling at a college.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's an interesting well, Kate, did you hear that? You might be coaching women's bowling at a college.
PhD in poli-sci.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, hopefully, I think Kate's Washington bound.
Nice.
I think she's going she's going to be going towards government.
All right.
So, which we need. And she's very good at debating. Trust me. So
campaign work.
She'll be great in the new Congress. She'll be great. She will light them on fire. If anyone thinks that AOC is on fire, get ready for Kate, because she's coming.
All right, we need it. We need people who want to come up and do that.
Kate's very good at debating and getting a point across, although it may not always be right. She will fight it to the death. Oh. So we are going there.
So she's a Democrat.
I wouldn't say that. And shut it. I wouldn't say that. But she's very good at the debate. Yeah. If she wasn't going to do this, I'd be like, she should go into being a lawyer. Like, totally.
And this is not unilateral. This is bilateral here. Look at the field at this point. Yeah. We need people.
Yeah.
We need people to get into the game. We really do.
Yes. What'd she say? Lou, I wouldn't. But I think that's great. And so these are good things. So if you guys, this is a time of year right now where there are lots of your family members getting into college. So this is a happy thing around the holidays too. And after January 1st, a lot of acceptances come in. So I had, besides my own, these family members, obviously Kate and Cam, get in. There's probably, I think I have 8 or 9 patient clients that they're all accepting and getting in. Like I've got one going to Vanderbilt. I've got one that got into West Point. Yeah. I've got it's exciting time for me because they're getting their acceptances now. They did early decision. So I'm getting to hear about it. And, I wrote some recommendation letters. So it's exciting because that's like a Christmas gift to me, because I'm in a job that goes not thanked very often.
Bill got into a college.
Who did?
Bill.
I know. Can you believe that? Speaking of, Bill Belichick is finally going to coach college football.
I'd take some UNC gear right now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I know. I'd actually be willing to go down and see a game.
I'd go down and see a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got friends down there. I'll go down and, hang out.
North Carolina's gorgeous.
I know, right? Yeah. We can go down and hang out and sit on
a beach.
I've
never been
somewhere.
to Chapel Hill, but
Chapel Hill is great. So I applied there years ago and got in, and I was going to go for pre-med there. I don't remember why. It's been so long. I don't remember why I didn't go there, but I got in there. It was fabulous. It's a beautiful school.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Beautiful and very nice.
Everyone says, yeah.
But where'd I end up? UMass Amherst in the snow. In the snow. UMass Amherst in the snow. So,
do you like a do-over on that decision?
Well, I started out at UCal Berkeley, and then I moved because I got a full ride to go to UMass Amherst, and then I didn't take it because I didn't want to do gymnastics anymore. So that's why I came back.
Oh, okay.
But I ended up in the snow, and I haven't been out of the snow since. So, and I was going to move to Florida at some point. And after Helene and Milton and my friends being down there, no.
Yeah.
No. And I'll stay, I'll visit. So, anyway, going back to the holidays. So finances is one, and family and people in the family. And I have had, this is a time of year where people have fights and politics comes up, and religion and sex and the topic of alcoholism and who's going to drink, all these things come up. So being at the base, we've had a fun show today, in my opinion, about like all kinds of things. But I think at the base, really talking to people who worry about the holiday and sitting at the table next week and over the next,
financial stress. You get the family dynamics create stress.
Right.
You add alcohol.
Right. And so so there's really a trifecta of what goes on at the holidays and how stressful it is for people. So I give a few tips, and I've been honing them over the years of go in with a plan, your own plan, have your own plan, not a plan of expectation about other people. If you're going to do a holiday thing with people you have difficulty with, I have to say that it's really good when you can healthfully detach from people that are toxic to you and not actually have holidays with them and just spend it with people you really want to be with, which is what I've done. So I spend my holiday time, and I split my holidays out, like, because I have people all around me. So, in terms of different places. So we do different, like this weekend I'm doing something with people, and then Christmas. So, but there's no controversy. It's so, I don't have any of the stress on me, but I've had to work at that. I've had to work at finding my space to be my own space, not them, but just whoever, to be able to be like, I'm not going to spend time with those people. I'm not going to do it with those people. Like, and being able to do that. And people feel guilty when I talk about how to do that with people. People be like, yeah, but I feel guilty. But you feel guilty, but are you going to feel worse spending time? Because after you leave them, you always tell me that you reel for the next month off of the 4 sentences that they said that pissed you off or hurt your feelings, or they gave someone else something and didn't give you something, and then a topic of like inheritance came up, and now we're all the feeding frenzy at the Shark Tank. I mean, seriously. So why do that to yourself?
Can I give a family dynamic tip that I think is important? Absolutely. It seems like a small thing,
yes,
but constantly de-emphasize the date.
Yes, that's why I said what my dad said. It's like, it's, my mother was very invested on that. It's Christmas. It has to happen on Christmas. And my father would be like, it doesn't matter what day it is. And that's how I am. It's like,
with the kids, their birthday, if it happened on a Tuesday, we don't have to celebrate on Tuesday. We'll do it on Saturday.
Exactly.
And it's like, so that you, especially during the holidays, you create extra.
Well, it's too much. It's extra pressure. And why do you have to do that? Especially when you have multiple family members that have to go other places, and you're married in, or like everybody has to be some flexibility. Go to the birthday thing, right? My birthday is on a Monday this year.
Yeah.
Monday. I'm not going to celebrate we'll probably have something on Monday, but it's going to be that weekend. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or it doesn't have to be on the date. And I think that relieves people. So it's the same as Christmas. Yeah. You don't have to have it on the date, and it doesn't have to be a big extravaganza. Whenever I ask people, it's a standard question every day. I'm going to ask it 10 times today after I leave here. What are you doing for the holiday? And some people have like, oh, it's going to be so relaxed. But 90% of the people are going to be like, well, on Christmas Day, I mean, Christmas Eve day, we start out the day by doing this. And then at 4:00 we do this. And then at 10:00 we do this. And then the next morning we get up and we open presents and then we all get dressed and we go over to Auntie. And I just know the stress of, I've talked in previous shows over the years on like, that is so stressful.
It's brutal for kids too.
It's unfair to kids.
You give them all this stuff in the morning, and then they got to pack up and go to grandma's.
Right. Or wherever. And so I finally, and this is a client that I've had for a while, that I finally got them because they have a little one, and I started seeing them before they had him, and now he's going to be 6. And finally this year I said, every year, because it's so stressful for them, and they're always like, I hate Christmas. And I'm like, oh, because of this. And finally this year, they're staying home.
Yep.
And because my whole thing every year is tell people to come to you. Don't make your child leave their stuff. It's their day. It's your day to have fun with your child and just hang out. If you want to have people over, do. And don't do a big sit down dinner. Do a buffet. Put out chafing dishes and just let people pick all day. Like make it like a Super Bowl party.
Yep. No, exactly.
And that's exactly what they're finally doing. And I was just talking to the husband yesterday, and he goes, I don't know why we didn't do this sooner. I'm like, exactly. Right.
That's the thing about kids. Make it for them.
Right.
Make it your family.
Right.
You pay homage to everyone else to both families, of course, but you can set it aside for your kids, your family, your day. But
people get caught up. Yes. But people get caught up in this guilt.
Yeah.
And guilt as a emotion is a perception. It's real, but it's a perception that you have that you have done something wrong, or you're going to have done something wrong, or you're being perceived as doing something wrong by not doing the thing.
Yeah.
And so you feel bad about it. You have to be able to relieve yourself, give yourself permission, and not have guilt over making a choice that's healthy for you, for your family. And if someone gets mad at you and they don't get over it, that's a them problem, not a you problem. That's not you being insensitive, because people are like, oh, that's not very empathetic. If you run around constantly having to take care of everyone else's feelings all the time, how do you live your life?
Yep.
So you have to be able to make decisions going, I love you, but I'm going to stay home, and we can go to lunch tomorrow, or we can have a thing next weekend. Like, that was one of the best things about my grandmother. She'd be like, whatever, like you let's do whenever you want to. It's all the same to me. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the feelings aren't going to be different. The gifts are going to be the same. We still have the tree up. We'll still have the light, It was great.
Yep.
So great. And I think it would be great if more people could just adopt that, and I have many clients over the years who celebrate Hanukkah, and that's a great way to, like, the way that they celebrate the 8 days. It's much more low key, at least from everyone that talks to me about how they celebrate it. They don't have the pressure. I think there is some, but it's not the same. Like they do a gift at night. Well, they do some of them. Some families I have like do multiple gifts a night, right? The 8 gifts, but they just are very chill. It's much more about family and just being together, and it's not this big fanfare in the same way.
I know.
It's great for them. So, and I've been trying to learn more about, I have 2 clients right now that celebrate Kwanzaa, and they've been teaching me, and I love it because it's really interesting about their traditions and what they do and their expectations. Yeah. It's really cool. So now I'm like into really understanding that more, and I love it. I've known about it, obviously, because I've had clients over the years, but I have 2 clients right now that are really into like telling me about it, and I love it.
Hanukkah and Kwanzaa seem more holiday related, whereas Christmas has been bastardized into the financial aspect of it, the gift giving aspect of it, the marketing aspect.
Well, it's like that Hallmark thing that goes on, right? It's the Hallmark holidays, like cards, got to get cards, got to have everything. It's
That's the thing. What happens is you get through Christmas and you get January, you're sitting there in January with all the gray and all the dark, and you're just nothing except bills.
Right. And that's the thing.
Then all of a sudden you realize, Valentine's Day is around the corner.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's the next thing to look forward to. And that's what people do. And that's why, I tell people, like, here's your perfect time. Plan your experience in January so that you spend your money on an experience that happens in January. So when you get past the holiday season, you have something to do in January, which is why I have something to do in January, right? Because the January to March 1st is hard for people.
Yeah.
Even though Valentine's Day is there, it's because that becomes a whole nother stress for people, which we talk about, right? But it's that, I think you have it right. It's that gray time for people up here. Not as much. I was thinking about when I was in Florida, like, I wonder what it's like to live in a non-gray spot.
Yeah.
And then have the same kind of burdens on you. I think it's just probably similar, but different. But that January time for people
up here, January through February is just so tough.
Right. I think it's more for people in the Northeast and the Northwest.
And lately, it seems like the seasons have been delayed, and even March isn't that great anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And I'm just waiting for us to get pummeled by snow this year. Hasn't come yet.
Another 2015.
Oh God. Right. So
remember 2015? The first storm was January 27th.
It was my birthday. Yeah. January 27th. It happened, and every Saturday for 8 weeks after that. The reason why I know this is because every Saturday I go out for a training run on the Boston Marathon course, and there'd be 8 feet of snow piled on the side, and you couldn't see around the corners, coming around the corners, and it would be like that. And it was like that all the way up until the marathon because there was so much snow.
Just kept snowing.
It just kept, and it was every Saturday it would snow.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And it would drop not like inches, it would drop feet. We had feet of snow because that birthday, I think we had 2 feet drop.
Yeah.
That was the first drop, and it was 2 feet. And then the following Saturday was like another foot. And the following Saturday was like another half foot, and then another foot. It was just like endless. I was like, this is brutal. So please, no.
Yeah.
Because also,
I don't want one of those.
Because also 2015 running the marathon was sleet, hail, wind.
That's right.
And
it was a really bad day.
It was, but it wasn't as bad as 18. 18 was worse.
Yeah.
The Boston Marathon is very hard to get good weather. It's either really hot and you die, or you're getting pelted with sleet, snow, wind, rain, and it's freezing.
Well, I'm at the point now where I don't go to Fenway unless I'm getting paid. But traditionally, Patriots Day was the day I'd go to Fenway. I just used to like that game, and the weather was just brutal. It's like, I'm not sitting in this ballpark in this weather. It's just, talk to me in June.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm all in with that, especially when I'm running by Fenway at the end of the marathon because it's right at the last mile-ish. And I'm like, you all were sitting in those stands. I'm out here running.
Concrete
stands.
Old-ass stadium.
Yeah.
In the snow and rain and whatever the hell was going on that day.
That's why whenever I go to any games that are during that time, which I've gone to, I don't go to my seat. I stand in the concourse under the heaters. Just like I do at Gillette. Whenever I go to games for the Patriots, if it's snowing and I have seats, like either if I'm down near the field or I'm up on the concourse.
Fenway seems like centuries of cold, though. It seems like it just has retained cold from the 1800s and cold from the 1800s, and it's just brutal. It's a bad place to be.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this was a interesting and fun show today for me because it was just more of a I felt like I needed to do like a kind of end of year almost wrap up because we had that little truncation of like 7 weeks of hell for technical issues that I won't talk about. Oh, but I just did. And then it was hell. And it was hell for both of us.
Yeah.
And then just being able to just talk in general about like the holiday season and so on and so forth. But we are having a show next week. It's going to be early in the week. It's going to be Christmas Eve. It will go live roughly around maybe 12:30. 12:30. That's what I'm thinking. Quarter of 1 on Christmas Eve. Am I coming into the studio or am I doing it from home?
You can do it remotely if you like.
Well, you have to. I feel bad if you see. I feel bad if you
come all the way in. I'm going to be here anyway, so. Not just coming in for that.
Maybe I'll drag John in. Oh my God, can you imagine him on air with us? Oh my God.
That would be fun.
I know. I'll have to talk to him about it. I'd have to give him lots of instructions of what he's not allowed to say and do. So we'll see. That might be an entertainment thing, right? Oh my God,
let it happen.
Oh my God, it's your person.
Bruce is back, yeah.
Hi, Bruce. I haven't seen you in forever.
I haven't heard from Bruce in a while either.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much.
That should be next year. Or the next few shows, mental hygiene. That should be the topic.
We're going to move into that. Yeah. That's why I was sort of wrapping up this year, and I was going to talk about coming into next year, next week, about like going into the new year with good mental health. But I love what he just said. Happy holidays, blessed days of joy. Thank you for another year of mental hygiene. You're very welcome. It's been my pleasure to bring entertainment sometimes and good tips in mental health and wellness awareness to many topics and families and relationships and narcissism. Narcissism is always a big topic for me because it's so out there.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, Bruce, and I appreciate all the listeners. And certainly I will do another show before the year ends.
Say hi to me. He says hi to you. He hasn't said hi to me in a long time.
Well, you know what? Are you jealous?
Yes, I am.
Well, Bruce.
We're buddies.
Bruce, make him jealous. But I do appreciate that. And I appreciate everyone listening, and Leanne and Mary, who's usually on, and Paula, who listens, and Candy, who listens, and Kate, and Scott. And I after the show for the next week, I always can see the hundreds of people that are on. So I'm just naming people.
All right. So Kate and Cam, congratulations.
Yes,
first of all.
Yes.
But that's what we're going to be doing for a while, right?
What?
College stress.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm not going to be doing college stress. Lots of other people are, but yes, but lots of people will be doing that in the next couple months.
But they've kind of turned the page because a lot of the stress is applying.
Well, now
and
it's over,
accepted.
right? Yeah. So now they've committed. So now that's all. Now they just have to not fail the rest of the year. I always tell everybody, all kids, like, just because you got in and committed does not mean now we fail, because people don't realize they can take your offer back.
Yep.
And I remind seniors, just because you are done in January does not mean you're done, because it goes right to the bitter end. So do not mess up, because they will take your offer off the table. And especially if you've gotten full rides or partial rides. Yeah. So they will take that from you quickly. And don't post stupid things on social media. That's the other one. Don't ever.
Has that happened? You seen that?
Schools watch. So schools watch what people post on social media, and track that stuff on kids that are accepted. And don't be stupid. Don't post yourself smoking a bong, or drinking alcohol and acting stupid, or getting into fights, or nakedness. Those are, and I'm not being facetious. Literally, do not do stupid things on social media.
Don't know post. This was a thing.
Oh yes, this has been a thing for a long. This is not new. Don't say stupid things on.
I have not seen on Indeed the college job web following student social media.
Well, that's not on the college job description, but schools do that. They monitor to make sure that their students are not.
See, admissions is much more interesting than I thought, I guess.
Yeah, that's not new.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
I didn't. Oh, that's been it makes sense, but I hadn't come across
since the dawn of social media. That has been more. That's a thing. So, absolutely, especially because it's especially popular because of the propensity for teenagers to decide to send nude pictures of their private parts on occasion to each other, and it gets out in the world. Did you not know this?
Oh, yeah. I knew that. Yeah.
Right. And smoking bongs online. And I said, this before we go, I put the word yuck on something, to a food item that was on TikTok. I went, yuck. And they took my comment down and slapped me on the wrist for it. So I appealed it, and they still said I couldn't say yuck, but yet they don't take kids smoking pot off, or whatever. I'm like, seriously?
Wow.
I just said yuck because it was a gross thing, and I got flagged for yuck. That's all I said was yuck. Whatever.
See, that gets scary.
Yuck. I'm like, really?
The arbitrary nature of some of this gets scary.
I can't say yuck.
Yeah.
If I'd said yum, it would have been okay. It was disgusting. I was like, bleh. So whatever. I laughed though. I used to get all upset when I'd get slapped on the wrist. I get slapped on the wrist for like saying that stuff all the time. You can't use you can use, it depends.
Is this you as a student, or is this you as
me? I'm not a student.
Teacher. No.
I'm talking about me as a human being, just responding to someone's post.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
And just putting it was a food item and it was disgusting. And I went, yuck. And then they banned my comment, took it down, and I appealed it. And then they said, no, it stands. And I'm like, for saying yuck? Oh, you people are so stupid. Yuck. TikTok. Stupid TikTok. I love TikTok. I get lots of followers, so I love it. Go to TikTok and follow me, Dr. Kim Lannon. I posted a very peaceful little video yesterday.
Okay.
So anyway,
all right. Get the app.
So
sign up with the Chinese government.
Will you stop?
What?
Oh my God, you and Kate. I'm going to bring Kate in. That's what I'm going to do. I'm bringing Kate to you.
There you go.
You and Kate can go at it. That would be so good. Kate, get ready. Put your boxing gloves on for coming to see Lou. All right. So I love you guys all. So great mental hygiene. This was a fun show for me today. I don't know if it was for you, but I appreciate and I love seeing Cassie and Leanne and everybody. And please, please, please go to my Give and Gain and donate for me. Help me get there fast to take the stress off of my training so I can have the best run of my life this year. Give before the end of the year so you can take a tax deduction. But even if you don't, you can still do it after the year. But do it fast because I really need it.
We'll see you Christmas Eve.
All right.